What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another movie review. I'm Chase Lee, reviewing for DallasMovieScreenings.com, and the movie I'm going to take a look at right now is Ford v Ferrari. Now, this one comes from 20th Century Fox. It is directed by James Mangold, and this one tells the story in 1966. The car designer Carroll Shelby, played by Matt Damon, had a brain fart there, sorry, and driver Ken Miles, played by Christian Bale, are tasked by the Ford Motor Company, which at this point in history in the 60s is run by Henry Ford II, played by Tracy Letts. And so Henry Ford II gets his feelings hurt a little bit. His ego is punched in by Enzo Ferrari, makes a jab at Ford cars. And Henry Ford was not taking any of this. He wanted to show him up. And so the only way to beat Ferrari is to beat him in a physical race where like Ford can be first, second, and third, and Ferrari cannot. And so there is a race called the Le Mans race, and this is a 24-hour long, like 3,000 plus mile race. It's insane. I can't believe people actually do this, but hey, if you love driving, you love driving, right? So Henry Ford tasked Shelby and Miles to build a car, put the Ford name on it, and beat Enzo Ferrari in this race, and prove to him and the world that Ford is a force to be reckoned with. And that is your story. I'm not going to say whether they win or lose, because it would destroy the fun of watching this movie. So going into this movie, a couple things. I love James Mangold. Directed my favorite film of 2017, Logan. He's done Walk the Line, 3:10 to Yuma. He's a really great director. And the second thing is, I'm a little worried about this movie because it's so expensive, and so was Ad Astra, to where like these are the two movies to really prove to Disney that people want to see risk-taking Fox movies like this and not just Avatar sequels. They want to see different content, and I'm hoping people support this movie and show Disney what's up, and have them have a reason to keep the studio functioning. It's a great segue to tell you this is a dang good movie, and I think it appeals to everybody, every age group, child, adult, elderly people. An alien wants to come down from Mars, I would recommend them this movie before I got shot in the head with a laser. It appeals to everyone in the sense that it's an autobiographical picture, so you're going to get the older crowd. You know, I lived through the 60s. Let me see the 60s movie. And then the child, kind of like mid-range adult, is going to appeal to this movie because it's an underdog kind of sports movie. And those do really well, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, racing, boxing, whatever. Those are always genuine crowd pleasers, and they are pretty surefire bets on getting everyone to watch this movie. And I think this movie does that. I think I could recommend this movie to anybody, and I think people would enjoy it. I really enjoyed myself. It's for its 2.5 hour long runtime. The only thing that's bad about that is the seats I was sitting in the theater. Other than that, the movie is justified at that length, and it just really provides this this heft and this like epic kind of feel to it, and following this journey from start to finish, and it's really satisfying towards the end. So let me start with director James Mangold. I think he's working on a bunch of fronts here, and I think he's doing them quite well. So the first front would be the business side to this movie. There's a lot of business talk, a lot of business meetings, a lot of people in the Ford Motor Company tearing Shelby and Miles down, and then them resisting, and a lot of meetings on how to develop the car, the trial runs and all that stuff. It's just, all that stuff was fascinating. If you can do a really well-written movie on business and all that stuff, it's really intriguing to watch, and it's mostly just dialogue, just conversations back and forth. And that's all a part of their journey. These are the roadblocks that they have to go through to, accomplish this goal and become number one, and just develop this car and prove to the world that they are, two of the best, car designer and drivers. So there is a lot of roadblocks that these people at the Ford Motor Company, present in front of them, but they work around it. It is frustrating at times, but that in the hero's journey, they're going to stumble a little bit, but it just makes their victory all the more satisfying. So I thought the business part of it was really great. A lot of people are going to say that Tracy Letts played Henry Ford II as like a maybe slightly cartoonish, maybe over the top a little bit. I thought he was just at that right level where like he was skeetering that line where if he like went a little bit more above than what he was doing, he would seem a little bit out of place with the rest of the movie. But I thought he, did a great. We'll get to the acting here in a second, but and then another front that James Mangold is dealing with is the car racing. It's exhilarating to watch, heart pounding anxiety through and through. These guys are going 200 plus miles per hour. They're whipping these turns, and there's car crashes happening, and it's really it just makes your palms sweat. You sit at the edge of your seat, and you just want them to succeed, but this is super dangerous, and like it adds more weight to the situation because that like Ken Miles has a wife and kid at home. It's like you want them to get out safely and stuff. So it's just a riveting experience that Mangold provides through the car racing, and its precise editing and shot compositions, and just acting all in these scenes. It just encompasses what this whole movie is about and their journey, and they're so well done. And I think there's 3 like giant race scenes, and they all progressively get bigger and top one another, and it's just so great. I mean, when you're dealing with stuff like that, and especially when this movie's, I don't think is dealing with any CGI cars, they're all real. You got to coordinate that. You have to know where your shots are going. You have to edit it in the editing room in a certain way to where it feels like it's in real time and you're watching something kind of develop in front of you in real time, and not, something that doesn't really feel like it's in the moment. Like all that stuff takes planning. And I thought Mangold killed it in the racing scenes. I think this movie's playing in IMAX. Go see it in IMAX because I didn't see it in IMAX, and I'm jealous that you probably will. It's probably really exciting to watch on the big screen. And then the third thing that he's dealing with, there's a lot of emotional heft to this movie that I didn't really expect, and a lot of stuff that Matt Damon was dealing with or Christian Bale, and there was a lot of pathos underneath them a little bit that I really found kind of refreshing and kind of like a release after watching all these like tightly wound scenes of just intensity. It was kind of nice to see them, unravel a little bit emotionally, and that just makes them more human. It makes them more well-rounded as characters on the page and on the screen, and it makes you care about them even more. And so there's several scenes with Christian Bale and his wife or his son, Matt Damon, having doubts and really feeling defeated at certain points. It's just, I don't know, there was a lot of emotional weight to this movie that was really unexpected, especially towards the end. It was really touching stuff that I was like, that even got me. So it just makes them more human, more well-rounded, and I really appreciate that. So James Mangold, fantastic job. The acting is also really great. I think Christian Bale really gets into his character. He seems really kind of relaxed in his role, really kind of getting into some of the kind of well-written quips that he has. He's got a lot of touching moments with his son, his wife, so those are really heartwarming. And then when he's actually in the race car, like he's really confident, he's really focused, and like there is a commitment there that Christian Bale always has in his movies, and it really shows his passion for his art form, and that shows once again here. It's a really relaxed role, but I thought it was really well handled. Matt Damon was also great. Really, the stoic character that we needed. He's really serious most of the time, and he gets dogged on a lot from the Ford executives, and like it's really kind of taking a toll on him, but he's still focusing his eye on the prize. And it's just, I don't know, he was really stern, and with Christian Bale's kind of relaxed mentality, it was a great contrast in their situations that they were in, to see their chemistry kind of go back and forth. So I really like that. Catriona Balfe, Catriona, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She plays Mrs. Miles, Ken's wife, and I thought she was a refreshing heartbeat to the movie that I was looking for, and I found it within her and even the son to some extent. Like, just when things are going bad, or like when stuff is happening when she's not even there, like in the back of your mind that like Ken is doing this because he likes doing it, but he also wants to impress his wife and be a great role model to his son. It's just like she's always in the back of your mind while you're watching it. And when she comes on screen, it's a breath of fresh air. And she is the heartbeat that keeps this movie going, keeps Ken going, inspires him to do better at his job and everything. I don't know. I just really liked her performance. It was really well handled. Noah Jupe is the son. He's great. He's having a great year with this and Honey Boys. So there you go. Tracy Letts, like I said, some people might find cartoonish. I think he's riding that thin line, but he is the type of CEO that's terrifying, and like he's very stern, and like he can like just kill you with his eyes, right? But like there are moments where like when he realizes the severity and the intensity of what these guys are doing, he slowly switches, and it makes him seem a little bit more sympathetic than the movie lets on. And you realize that he kind of like takes his mask off a little bit, his CEO like mask, like, and he becomes fragile. And that's refreshing to see in a character that feels powerful and, you know, is wealthy and is a CEO. It's nice to see someone of that status break down a little bit and realize what they're doing is just not writing a blank check and moving on. Like, this is really important, and it's really it's an intense process. And so that specific moment, I'm not going to say when or where in the movie, that's what made his character better for me in the long run. John Bernthal does the best job I've seen him do in years. He's a really great marketing kind of director for the Ford company. And then everyone else in the movie is there. They're good. They don't really stand out or whatever. The ones I mentioned stand out, but no, it is what it is. So overall, in its 2.5 hour long runtime, I think this movie is justified at its length. I think you will be exhilarated. I think you'll laugh a lot because this is a very funny movie. I think you're going to enjoy these performances. They're really just good characters to follow, and like you just want to see them succeed. It's an underdog story. It's a sports movie. It's an autobiographical picture. Everyone can enjoy this thing. I really enjoy myself. I'm going to cap out as high as I can go with my grade because until I see it again, I might rank it higher. I really might. But I think I'm going to go as high as a B+ for this. I'm not going to say I loved it. Maybe if I watch it a second time, I might be like, what was I thinking? And then put it up in the A category. But for right now, I'm just going to cap it out at a B+. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. So, Ford v Ferrari, man, go support it, and that will be my review for this movie, guys. Let me know down below what you thought of it, whether you hated it or loved it. I like to engage in conversation. If you post idiotic things on my channel, I might laugh, give you a heart react, but I will still see it. But try to let me know what you thought about the movie. But that will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.